Hello, everybody. We are obviously not in the studio.
Nope.
But we are in our living room because we didn't have room in the studio for our guests.
Woohoo!
And I just want to let you know that I am the only non-famous person in the room. These are all very famous people.
But you have your fan.
I have one
fan in the
I do have
neighborhood.
one fan in the neighborhood. So, yes. I'm that famous. So, what are we doing here?
It's all relative.
Yes.
You are our relatives.
Actually.
We're getting to that. Welcome to our Faith to Stand podcast. And if you haven't watched our first 3 episodes, and this is number 4, but we are just telling of the goodness of God and how he gives us faith to stand. And we've been promising that we were going to start interviewing people. And so we have our first guest today.
Yes,
Yeah.
and who are they?
This is Michael.
I'm
in case you
Michael.
guys don't know, I'm Teresa.
That's Teresa.
And then this is Lori, who is actually, Michael's cousin.
Yes.
And then this is Mark, Lori's husband.
Yes.
This is Mark and Lori Carouthers. And so, but I met Lori at Bible college,
Yes.
and that's where I also met Mark, and we all went to college together. And so Mark and Michael and I were the same year, and we all started as music majors, and then he ditched to other things.
Music was too hard.
Yeah.
Well, no, the reason why I hung into music so long is because I didn't want to do the prayer and Bible conference. I was petrified of
Because you
speaking.
wouldn't
It's
have to
true.
speak.
Right,
Yeah.
but I did it. I got the courage, and I did it anyway. So I got my degree in theology.
Look at
I am
God.
more spiritual
Look
than
at
the music
God.
major. Yes.
And then Lori was the year after, although I am the youngest one here. You guys just need to know I'm 6 months younger. And Lori just had a birthday yesterday.
Yay, happy birthday!
Thank you.
She's 39.
Thank you, Mike.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forever
Yes,
young.
indeed.
Forever young.
And just side note, when you did first come to college, you were part of was it Benny Wolf Trio?
It was the Lanny Wolf Trio.
Oh, Lanny Wolf. I'm sorry, Lanny.
The Lanny Wolf Trio.
Yeah, because the last time you saw me, you said you didn't remember who I was. So you got Benny Wolf is how I remember you. So
But he was the reason, Lanny Wolf was the reason I went to Jackson.
Yeah.
Because the chorale would always come by our church in Pensacola.
Yeah, and if you don't know some of the songs he wrote like Surely the Presence of the Lord is in this place. He's more than wonderful. God's wonderful people. Greater is he. I mean, he's written so many. Those are just
Make a joyful noise.
Make a joyful
Yeah.
noise.
So he was the dean of music there, and it's just like, I have to go to the school because the chorale was so incredible every year. And
So incredible.
that's how we know
and
each
we
other.
were all actually in the crowd.
And you know
Yeah.
what's so cool is when you love to sing, you love to be around other people that inspire you. It's not, you to do that by yourself is whatever. But when you're around other people that can sing and you ebb and flow together musically, it's the
Absolutely.
sweetest thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also, so when I don't remember what year you guys started dating, but they were at our wedding, and then Mark proposed.
Your wedding,
Yes,
that is right.
the night for your rehearsal.
After
Was it at the
rehearsal.
beach?
At the
It was at
beach.
the beach after the rehearsal.
Pensacola Beach?
At the beach.
Okay.
So
Beach.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He did.
Yes.
So hey, so other than singing with Lanny Wolf Trio, tell everybody, for those that of like our friends here that don't know you guys, tell everybody a little bit of what you guys have done over the last, 10 years.
Well, we've been married almost 44 years.
That's
So
We
pretty up to
graduated.
you.
We graduated from college in 1982, and basically spent our whole career as worship pastors at various churches around the country, from Texas to Indiana, mainly. Then we traveled full time for about 4 years, somewhere in there, as we put together a little group called Carouthers Company.
Oh yeah.
And begin to write some songs and sing around the country. And then we've been doing that pretty much since about 19 82 when we got married in 1982, and
Wow.
we started doing that. And pretty much we'd try to sing anywhere they would ask us. It didn't matter because
Yeah.
I told Lori, if they ask, we're gonna go.
I know. I would try to get like, I don't want to go there.
And no, we're gonna go.
You want to name names or not?
And I remember in the very beginning thinking, wow, why isn't anybody asking us to come to a concert? And it's just kind of like the Lord kind of dropped in my spirit and said, well, do you know enough songs to do a concert? And I was like, well, actually, no. We might just learn some songs, enough songs to do a concert. So we've been doing that. We've written a lot of songs throughout the years. Probably our best known song is Mercy Seat, which was used at the Brownsville Revival back in the 90s,
For 5
early
years.
2000s,
Yeah.
for several years as the altar call song.
Awesome.
Wrote that with a couple of friends, Steve Richardson and Jeff Harple. And anyway, so that's what we've done. When I turned 50, I started realizing maybe I'm a little too old to be a music director because a lot of churches wanted a 20 and 30-year-old worship leader that wore jeans and had
Skinny
dreads,
jeans.
wore skinny jeans, had dreads, played the guitar. I wasn't skinny, so I couldn't wear skinny jeans. I didn't play the guitar, and I'm losing my hair, so couldn't have dreads.
And you didn't have a tattoo.
I didn't have, well,
He doesn't.
not
have-
yet, anyway. Not yet.
Okay.
A temporary one. Yeah, you can, yeah.
But so then we did just kind of some secular jobs for a while. Still traveled and did a few concerts here and there, but I did real estate. She worked at the Dallas market because we were living in the Dallas, Texas area at the time. And then 2.5 years ago, we just decided to kind of semi-retire, sold everything, bought an RV, hit the road, and then
You were
we
all
do-
for that, right? That was
She was jumping up and down. It was her idea. She forced me to do it. And we've been, we do concerts along the way across the country and see the sights and enjoy the adventures. And that's what brought us here. We are in Southern California with
There we
Mike
are.
and Teresa.
Yeah. And by the way, this is your first podcast and our first
Yeah.
guest podcast.
guest podcast.
Yeah.
So it's Faith to Stand. And you had mentioned something yesterday that was very interesting when I asked if you were asked what was your moment of faith to stand, you had a very, very, very interesting answer.
Well, first of all, I love Jesus so much, and I learned that asking God is a kingdom principle. It's not something you just save up for. It's not something that you just ask for when you're really in trouble. It's the little things on your day-to-day life that you just involve God in every area of your life. So, I mean, I would ask God for everything. God, help me decide this. Help me know where to go with this. Help me, how do I do this? And even when in my job that I was working at the Dallas Market Center, I had a lot of responsibility, and sometimes I would get so overwhelmed. And I would just go in a back room and I'd say, Jesus, you've got to help me. And I'm telling you, every time God would just come through. And it may not be just how I think he's going to do it. But when we were talking about just the faith walk yesterday, I realized that it was all those series of little things that I just knew God was faithful. God always was there, always took care of the things that I asked him to do. And however he does it is his discretion.
Yeah.
It may not be the way I go,
Right.
oh yeah, here's how you got to do it, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, and check off those.
Yeah.
But it is those little things, those day-to-day things that you just involve God so much in your life that when the big things come, it's like, okay, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Give us an example of a big thing that you had faith. I mean, I know you guys started a church. You don't have to pick that one, but I mean, we did too. And then just ours, that didn't go well, but we're not going into that today.
the big things.
It got us here, though.
It did.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
I don't, as far as a big thing, like Mark and I did go and start a church in Corpus Christi, and both of us were scared to death. We really, to just take your family and just go and start this church.
That was kind of before the whole church starting movement started, where you planned for months and months, and you got a
they
core
send
group
people
together,
with you,
send people with you. You
For
arrive
sure.
on the scene, and you've got musicians, and you've got all that.
Yeah.
We just the Lord put a city on our heart, and we were like, okay. I think we knew one person in that city, and she had been in church, but she wasn't in church at the moment. Wasn't really, that was it. And we moved, and God was faithful for 3 years. We were there for 3 years. Didn't really establish a church that we could point back into and say, oh yeah, we started that church. Look what it's doing today. But during those 3 years, I know we ministered to people, and we baptized people. We saw people get saved. We married people. Thankfully, I don't think I had to bury anybody.
You baptized a lot of people.
Baptized, but it was and it did some things in us.
Sure, right.
And I realized we're building the kingdom of God. We're not building the kingdom to ourselves.
Yeah, good.
So
well said.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, but the big things, I was praying about where we should live, and that part scared me to death because we had a beautiful house, So I was praying one day, and I saw a blue shutters, and I just saw blue, and I told Mark, I said, Mark, because he went down, he said, I'm gonna go find a house, and I said, well, blue is the color.
we were moving from Houston,
and he said he calls
Corpus
me.
Christi.
He said, Lori, I've been all over town. He said, there's not blue shutters, but there is a blue house. I said, then that's it. And so he went in, and there was no kitchen. It was an old house. It was over 100 years old.
They were redoing the house completely, but they had not planned to put a kitchen in.
And
they were going to let whoever rented it do whatever.
Oh, wow.
So I told him, I said, you walk in there. I don't know, when you're I don't know, I just was full of faith. And I said, you walk in there and you tell them you've got to have a refrigerator and an entire kitchen. And what else was it?
I called the guy back and I said, if you'll do a kitchen, we'll do a 2-year lease. And he came back and agreed to put in the oven, the sink, and dishwasher. I think we brought a refrigerator. But anyway, we don't want to digress too far into that. But it was a very faith-walking moment for us to know that, okay, you're called out to do something crazy. You don't have an answer, and you don't have a roadmap per se. I remember about the first night we got down there, we moved in. Moving in was kind of crazy. The air conditioner kind of wasn't working in the house.
And this is in Texas, by the way.
This is in South Texas, Corpus
And it was
Christi,
in
Texas.
August.
Yeah, in
It
August.
was in the summer. It was hot. And I just remember after we finally got to bed that night, I was laying in the
This
bed.
is so good.
I don't tell this story very often. But I was laying in the bed, scared. It was like, what have I done?
How old were you guys?
38.
This was in 95,
We were
97, so I was 37.
And the kids were little.
Our kids were, Chelsea was like 3,
She was probably 4,
Chad was
3 or 4.
Chad was 11, 12, so she would have been 6,
Okay.
something like that. So I'm like, what have I done? Brought my family down here, and here we are. We had $1,200 a month pledged from churches around that said, we'll give you X number, And I was laying there in bed. We were on the second floor, and the piano was on the first floor. And I just... as I'm laying there in the middle of the night, I heard somebody play the piano.
Oh,
And they were playing Great Is Thy Faithfulness.
wow.
The old hymn. And it just, was it a vision, a dream? I don't know, but laying there in the bed that night, I heard somebody play the piano. And it just seemed like I could see angels going out from our house all over the city. And, it was amazing what happened those 3 years we were there. God sent us people. We ministered to them.
It was precious.
It was precious. It never really took root as a church. But I knew God had us.
Yeah.
And God was taking care of us. And we learned so much. We had made a transition out of a pretty rigid denomination. And we were trying to establish, okay, we feel God calling us out. What do we believe?
Right.
What is our identity?
Yeah.
And so those 3 years, we learned so much, worked through a lot of that there. But anyway, that's...
Give everybody a chorus, a chorus of "Great Is Thy Faithfulness." I'll throw in a harmony.
And then I have one more question.
Give them that.
The chorus is, great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
And that's what Faith to Stand is all about. Ask a question.
Thank you.
Well, hold on a second. The
Yes.
next morning, I didn't know what he had heard in the middle of the
Oh,
night.
see, okay.
So
Because you slept through the piano playing.
I slept through I guess, apparently. And he is downstairs tearing up the piano. Which, I could never get him to do, like, oh, babe, just go play the piano. It's my favorite. And here he was. I didn't even have to ask him. He's down there just ripping up the piano. Great is thy faithfulness.
Wow.
And then he told me the story. But it's, Mike, it's those little things that God does that you just go, oh, he knows where I am. He knows what I'm going through. He knows everything about me. And it's powerful.
It was kind of a landmark thing for me. And I don't tell the story very often because I don't ever want it to become a shtick or old.
Yeah.
Or it's just, I
It's
just
one
felt
of
like saying it
personal.
tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those little breadcrumbs. I call them, for me, like breadcrumbs that got, like, when you are just, for lack of a better analogy, Hansel and Gretel out in the woods, and you're like, you can't see, and you're in the fog, and you're just like, where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. And then God gives you a personal word. It could come from anywhere, whether it's a dream or somebody says that, you're watching a show or somebody, wherever you are, it's a song. I have these little personal words that only me and God know, like little, I don't know what, it's like little code words.
Yeah.
And just it comes from somewhere, like just when you need it, or something, a little sign, that little breadcrumb that keeps you going.
This little breadcrumb was a little bigger. It was warmed up. It had butter on it.
It was a biscuit with honey.
It was good, yes.
But yeah, it was a giant one. But thank you so much for sharing that. That was really powerful.
You had a question.
Yes, I did. You do something on Thursday nights called something in the RV. I can't remember.
We used to call it the living room sessions because we would sit down at our piano in the living room of our house and just sing some old courses. We started doing it on a Thursday night several years ago, and so it just kind of became Thursday night living room sessions.
And now it's the Thursday night RV.
And now it's worship from the RV.
RV, okay.
I don't know why Thursdays was it.
It
Thursdays
just
was the
worked for
first
us.
one,
That's
and so
good,
Thursdays just became. And so we miss a lot of Thursdays. We don't get to do it, but a lot of times we try on Thursday
And we
around.
just did one with
We
you guys.
did one at their house.
We did one
last
Thursday
Thursday
night.
night on
On that-
Lori's Facebook page.
With that in mind, You said about 50 is when you felt,
Yeah.
no skinny jeans and not doing, yeah. But just an observation. I mean, we were there this Thursday night. It was great. It was one of the minute you guys started singing, the anointing was just pow. And I started wondering, I mean, you've done some big venues, but on average, when you in a church, there's a limited number of people in church that you were able to lead in worship. But all of a sudden, I noticed you were talking about, well, look how many people watched, and it was West Coast, and there's a lot of people that you said were already in bed. Okay. Look at who you're reaching after you're no longer having to wear skinny jeans on a Thursday night. Just you two, and a piano, and the impact you're having. That has to be such a wonderful.
And you're over 60.
Who
knew that God could use a person in worship over 60?
It's
we're
that
bumping
just
towards 70 now. I'm past 65.
It's saying yes. It's just saying yes and being obedient to God. And Mark just felt like we needed to do that. He said, and we didn't know anything about this whole, Facebook Live thing, We had 2 cans of Wolf Brand chili that we set on the piano, and that held our little...
That's what we leaned the phone up against.
That held the phone up, and then we were like, how do we turn it off?
I mean, it's still pretty raw and primitive. You just set the phone up there, turn it on, and start singing.
I feel like people are so tired of the slick everything that's happening in churches. They just want the presence of God.
So you don't have a fog machine?
I don't have any fog machine.
We leave
I don't
the lights
even have
on.
You can turn the shower in the back.
We could probably do something like that, but when I tell you it's organic, it's very organic. But I don't know. We've just not even wanted it to be like, oh, let's get this, or we just wanted it to be simple and to keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
And we sing some old church choruses, we sing some old hymns, we sing some new worship songs, we sing songs that we've written. It's just a mixture of all kinds.
Well, and we also realized that there was this huge demographic in the church that was so hungry for some of those songs. They don't need to have it all the time. They don't, and they like the new songs. They just want a few. We have a friend that says, "Throw me a bone sometime. Just throw me a bone." It's just like he wants just that something, that maybe it's a landmark in his life.
Yeah.
Because songs do that in our life. They're landmarks.
The power of music in general, too.
But when a song kind of gets you through something, when you kind of go and you sing something and to get through a situation or whatever, it's like that. You hold on to it. It becomes a landmark. And then to just like, oh yeah, we've written all these songs, so these songs don't really work. When that was really the foundation of where Christian music was going for so long. I mean, it started things,
Yeah.
Well, it kind of started a couple thousand years ago.
I know.
Before that, it kind of started 4,000 years ago when David started writing some little worship songs.
I know it's also relative.
Bless the Lord, O my soul, with all that is within me. Forget not his benefits.
And we're all songwriters. All of us are songwriters. And we know the Bible said, David said, sing a new song to the Lord. So we're not against new songs.
No.
But I mean, there's some that I was telling them yesterday my little theory that I have. You're welcome to disagree with me, but from my observation in my 64, almost 65 years, I've kind of discovered along the way of all my years of doing worship, all my years of being a part of worship, all my years of observing worship.
Yeah.
Here's my theory. Okay. I feel like there's some people that are just anointed. Like it is a gift from God, and the gift and call is without repentance. Some people are anointed no matter what. If they sing the songbook, it doesn't matter. It's just like these people right here are anointed. Like Michael was saying the other night, and they just open their mouth and start.
They can play Mary Had a Little Lamb, and you'd be like, it's good.
It was so powerful.
It's so crazy.
But I think there are other people, and of course, not only anointed but extremely talented.
Yes.
But
And famous.
there are other
And
people
famous.
there are other people that are extremely talented, and they try so hard to lead in worship, and they do all the right things, and they sing the right songs, and they do all the right moves, and they're trying so hard. Their heart is right. They're just trying, but it is just like there's just no anointing. And then there's some people, there's some things about certain songs that are so anointed and powerful that it doesn't matter who sings it. It doesn't matter if it's a little 5-year-old that can't carry a tune. It doesn't matter where it is, how it is. Just like Greatest Out Faithful. That's why I'm like, throw me a bone and sing that for me, right? It's so a song, you just break into it. Like we were saying, how great thou art. You just, and there's just the power in that, and then of course there's all kinds of like variables in between all of that. But those are the three things that I always think about when I'm a part of worship or wherever. And it's not like someone who's not anointed couldn't become anointed, but I feel like sometimes we put people out there too soon because we need to have a young face. And maybe, like what we're talking about, they've never really had faith to stand. And maybe they're great and they're talented. And I'm all about raising up the next generation. We have like accidentally started a music school, and I've always raised up. I've always been a teacher. I've always raised up people. So it's not about that. And it's not, our pastor always had a saying, you work yourself out of a job. So that's how I feel as a teacher.
That's good.
That's how I feel as a teacher. I told one of my students the other day, it's like, I'm not a good teacher if I'm not working myself. I don't need you here. It's very talented
forever.
little teenager that is really good. And it's just like, I don't need you here for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I need to teach you how to learn this by yourself. So let's just caveat that right there.
I want to shout out to Ivan.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're watching.
He's an amazing bass student.
He didn't want to play bass. His brother, he wanted to play drums, and his older brother was a drummer, so he wasn't allowed to. And his whole family was musical in a church, and he would sit there and pout, and I would try to teach him. And I started saying, there's a joy in bass playing. When you play bass, there's no defenses against it. It's the spirit can just move through those low notes. And he started to catch on. He started to practice. He was starting at 11. By the time he was 13 and a half, he is now his church's bass player by choice. They ask him. And he gave me a little card and thank you. And he basically said, thank you for getting me on the road, but I don't need you anymore. And I'm like, you go, boy.
And I said, congratulations.
Yeah, that's my first success story. Thank you, Ivan, in the bass playing.
So what I was saying was, let's just take this for example. So I have a little 8-year-old. I won't say her name. She is crazy good, okay? I mean, like insane. What is up with this girl? Okay, that I'm teaching lessons, of course, and she's singing, what did she sing? She she likes to pick these love songs to learn for recital. I can't remember this song she did this last time. But anyway, it was about You Done Me Wrong, one of those You Done Me Wrong songs.
Yeah.
Okay. And I said, do you know what this is talking about? And so there's 2 sets of twins. There's 2 older ones, and then she has a twin brother. She has no idea what the song is talking about, right? So I explained it to her, and then I said, look, when you sing this song, like you have to connect to it. So why don't you think about like what your brothers do to you? You love your brothers? Yeah. So I was trying to find it that way.
8 years old.
But it's just like, what do you know about love? Like you don't know anything about it, and but it's sometimes maybe wrongly, I feel that way when you've got someone, really young, leading a song about how I trust God through all the fire, and you know them, and you haven't been through squat except maybe somebody posted something bad about you. Like, and I always think to myself, okay, sing that in 20 years, and
it makes a difference.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something, Teresa. I told Lanny this, that I don't know, a while back. I said, it's amazing to me how I sang his songs in the 70s and I was a teenager. And I connected with it then, however I connected with it, because I do. That's just how I sing. But it's so much sweeter.
That's what I'm saying.
To be able to connect it to it now in my life, because it means so much, so many different things at this point. But I did connect to as a little old kid, because I started singing in church at 6 years old. I'm sure you did too.
3, yeah.
Well,
But I
See, all these
100%.
famous people start really young.
100%, and I'm not saying young people are not anointed, but I'm saying the ones that are like they try so hard, and that's like they don't understand how to connect.
Well, years ago, Dottie Rambo was a great Christian songwriter from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. She wrote a song, and the verse kind of asked the question, so you'd like to write a song about a heartache? Blah, 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 on and on. And then the caveat line of the song is, you'll have to live the song before you know. And that comes back to me all the time. That's why at 6 you can sing that song, and it may be nice and sweet and
sounds
good.
great, amazing.
But at 60, you sing the same song, and it's totally different because you've now lived the song.
Which is why I think like the multi-generational worship teams are really healthy. Like at our church, although I don't have, I'm just kind of supporting role, when needed, but the team is multi-generational. He plays the bass. We have 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. We have all the way from, teenagers all the way I feel like it's healthy because you've got a spectrum of people. So we always said, like, whether it's your ethnicity or whoever, like the congregation needs to see themselves up there.
100%.
Exactly. The church should represent the community it's in as far as ethnicity, and I think it should represent the generational. How many churches you go in, and if you're over 30, they almost don't want you on the platform.
You're not allowed. Yeah.
Sometimes they're not sure they want you to come to church because it messes up that image that they're looking for. I'm being a little facetious and cynical, but honestly, we've been to some churches, and you feel kind of...
Or come to the 8 o'clock service.
Yeah, come to the early service. No, the church, I think the church is doing... As a whole, we've done pretty good as far as the modern charismatic type non-denominational churches, which is what we're more familiar with because that's what we grew up in.
Right.
We do pretty good with the ethnicity, the multi-cultural, but we're missing it, I think, on the multi-generational because we do tend to like the platform image to be a certain way. And that's not fair because you need young, middle age, and now if you're too old to sing, you do.
If your voice is thrashed.
Yes, I understand you, but at the same time, there's something that a grandmother singing.
Who's lived the song.
That's lived the song.
That's right. We're all grandparents.
We're all grandparents, yes, indeed.
But there's something about, we always talk about the well that you draw from when you write. The well. And the well, either that water is sweet or it's not good. You want to get that well from that song from that very deepest part of what you've lived. And I wrote a song called and I haven't written a ton of songs. He's the songwriter. I've written 4 or 5 songs, I think. I don't know. I wrote a song one time. I finally got it. God was going to provide. God wasn't going to leave me. And it was like I started writing this song, and I had always tried to fix Mark's songs when he would, he would show me a song, and I'd say, oh, but that one line, you probably need to probably change that. So I didn't want him to do that to my song because my song was so
Personal.
It was so personal. I'm telling you, it was like it was a worship experience that I had all by myself with Jesus, and I got this song from it. And so a year and a half later, he goes, "What are you singing?" And I said, "Oh, it's a little something I wrote." But he goes, "Let me hear it." I said, "Well, but if I do, you can't touch it."
Can't edit it. No editing.
Sure as the world. I sang it for him. He goes, "I like everything. I like everything except for that last line." I said, "Then you can't sing it. It's my song."
We are all grandparents.
The last line is still in the song.
It's still in the song.
Yes, it is.
So, anybody want to give a shout out before we turn the volume down and say adios? Any shout outs to anybody? Yeah,
Shout out to all of our kids, Chad, Erica.
Oh, tell everybody about Chad real quick, and then
That's our son. He lives in Nashville, does a lot of music production. He produced the songs that are on the new animated David movie. It was in theaters back in December.
But Phil Wickham is.
It was back in December, January. It was in theaters. Now it's Angel. If you have the Angel app, you can watch it. Phil Wickham is the adult David. Anyway, Chad was involved in a lot of the music
you guys
production
sing on.
on that.
Didn't you guys sing on a little?
We did a little. We're in
But
there
you have
somewhere.
a new project too, right? You're working on a new project now, right?
We are.
We are working on a new project. Chad's doing the production. But Chad and his wife live in Nashville. They have 4 kids, Calais, Brixton, Eleanor, and Royal. They're fabulous kids involved in music, doing a lot of stuff. Then our daughter and son-in-law live in Austin, at Chelsea, and her husband's name is Mark. They have 2 precious little girls, Evie and Audie.
Yes.
And they're all musical. Chelsea's got a fabulous voice and sings. Her husband's a musician, and then the kids are starting to learn to sing and everything. So yeah, shout out to all of our family.
right.
But didn't when the 8-year-old stage directed a
Oh,
play?
yeah,
Yesterday.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
She kind of helped stage direct a little community theater
show you the
production
video.
there.
It's cute. It's cute.
So I think though, we will in the comments or the description, we will give you guys, Mark and Lori, the info that they want to give you of how to connect with them on Facebook and watch their worship nights. And then when they have it available, we will, we'll add to the description of this episode how for you to be able to hear their project.
Well, you can go on iTunes.
Do you have
Not
one?
yet. It's not on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
but
are
they're-
on iTunes and most.
But see, I hear all of their stuff that they have
Yeah.
up. How
Yeah.
did they find that?
You can find it on pretty much all streaming platforms.
Just type in your name.
Type in Mark and Lori Carouthers,
Is-
or type in Carouthers and Company.
How do you spell Carouthers?
Carouthers. Car out hers.
There you go.
3 words, and you have
All right.
Carouthers, Mark and Lori Carouthers, or Carouthers and Co, which for Carouthers and Company. But you type all that in, we'll come up.
We'll come up.
Thank
All right.
you for letting
YouTube,
us be
all
a
that
part
stuff.
of your.
Yes,
thank you.
You guys are so
podcast.
awesome. They're our guinea pigs again
Yes,
for
they are.
for
Oh,
interviewing
we
someone,
loved it.
and they're just so great. They are just so pro, and so we knew they were the
So
best.
everybody, have a good evening.
We'll see
Thank you.
you next time.